Whew. It's gonna be a long video. Okay, so if the 4K video hasn't come out yet and this comes out first, I don't know how it's gonna go. It's currently like 36 degrees today, so aircon is on and it happens to be right above the DVD shelf. So if that creates background noise, it creates background noise. The priority is what you see, then what you hear. Hey, so yeah, I've got literally like 4 pages of 4 pages of film shelf order, in terms of Blu-rays and DVDs. I'm not going to go into DVDs, just saying, or box sets, kind of. I'm going to talk about one box set. So yeah, we're going to talk about director's collections, with a few additional thingies, but we'll get to that as we go along. So, as you can see, it's literally a formatted thing of alphabetical. Okay. This also helps for people who look at my shelf and are like, why is this film in A when it should be in Z? You know, that kind of stuff. Alright, let's begin with our first director. You know what, fuck, I'm gonna bring the camera to me. Alright. So our first director is Paul Thomas Anderson, in our A collection. So we've got his work over here with these 5 films. We've got Boogie Nights on Blu-ray. Most of these are Blu-ray, some of them are 4K, doesn't really matter. We've got Punch Drunk Love. I will mention we do have Magnolia. It is currently in DVD, not in Blu-ray, which is annoying, but that's the only way I could get it. And I don't have the master. I've seen it, I like it, but I could not get it on Blu-ray. There Will Be Blood, probably my favourite of his, hard to say. They're all really good. Inherent Vice and Phantom Thread. I'm quite fond of his work. I've seen almost all of his films, and I quite like. I like pretty much every single one of them that I like every one that I've seen. We have Wes Anderson. To begin with, we have Bottle Rocket, which is probably, let's be realistic, this is probably actually the Criterion version on Australian Blu-ray. Umbrella can usually afford to buy that kind of stuff. So yeah, Bottle Rocket, his first ever feature-length film, followed by, because most of his films, if not all of his films, are on Criterion. Like so, the Royal Tenenbaums, pretty good. I haven't seen Bottle Rocket, I've seen Royal Tenenbaums, I quite like it. The Life Aquatic, these Criterion ones of course are especially like 4K ones. Okay, Royal Tenenbaums isn't, but the Life Aquatic is. I got that after I filmed my 4K video for, you know, Blu-ray transfers. My favourite of his, The Grand Budapest Hotel, and his latest, Isle of Dogs, which is a special slipcase. Unfortunately, the inside is not a different cover, which I thought was the case. But it doesn't matter, I still like it. Now, I'm not overly particular. Some directors I will put in just for myself because I know them, or I really like them. Some, it doesn't matter. I mean, I know a lot of these films aren't going to be searched for by my family, so they won't go in there thinking, where's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage by Dario Argento, or Suspiria, or Deep Red, or even Inferno, which are my only Argento films. And I've only actually seen Suspiria and Deep Red, currently. Next up we have, this is the different collection, and I'm missing one of them currently because I've lent them to my grandparents. So we have the David Attenborough collection as seen here. So we've got, I've put it in alphabetical order, the Great Barrier Reef. Most of these are in order of release, just saying. Yeah, so Great Barrier Reef, flaming teddies. There are so many goddamn films here. We've got Life, and no, I haven't watched a lot of these as well. But it never hurts to have a documentary. I've seen this one. This one's really cool. Life That Glows. I really like that one. It's short as well, and like the last like 10 minutes is like behind the scenes making of and how they were able to get the technology. Then we have Planet Earth, followed by Planet Earth 2, I have Blue Planet, which is currently, I'm currently lent to my grandparents. I believe that's in a Blue Planet 2 box set thing, and that was before I got this one, my Planet Earth 2 and Blue Planet 2 4K collection. The only problem with these, the 4Ks, is that they don't come with the Blu-ray, so it kind of is okay for me to own the Blu-rays of Planet Earth 2 and Blue Planet 2, so yeah. Moving on past the Batman collection, because it's kind of a collection, but not really worth talking about in my opinion. Like, some of them are like franchise things and stuff, like Mission Impossible is a collection, but it's Mission Impossible, so you know what you're going to look for. It's kind of hard to get the specifics right. I like going for directors most of all, if anything. So obviously you got your Batman, then we go to Luc Besson. We've got 4 films for him. We've got Leon the Professional, which I think is my favourite of his. The Fifth Element. I would have gotten the 4K, but they hadn't released the 4K by the time I got this one. Lucy. My dad got it, he really likes it. I don't mind it. It's a bit... yeah. And Valerian and the Planet of a Thousand Cities. The City of a Thousand Planets, I always get that wrong. In 4K, I really like the film, it's fun. You remember Mel Brooks, right? Yeah. Well, we have the Mel Brooks collection. Now, yes, it's a box set. But it does have 9 of his films, 2 of which we have separately as well. It's got The 12 Chairs, Blazing Saddles, which we have separately, Young Frankenstein, which is the reason I got this, Silent Movie, High Anxiety, History of the World Part 1, To Be or Not to Be, Spaceballs, which I also have separately, and Robin Hood Men in Tights. Pretty good box set, actually. It comes with a whole bunch of stuff. It's all on this one little case. It's pretty rad. It's all Region A, which is annoying, but at the same time, I like it. It's Mel Brooks. It's pretty great. John Carpenter. You heard the name before, most likely. We have his very first film, Dark Star. We've got Assault on Precinct 13, which I believe comes with another additional film, but I don't recall what it is. We have the OG Halloween on 4K. Then we jump to box set, in which we have The Fog, a 4K box set, 4K Blu-ray box set that comes with the soundtrack as well and a whole bunch of special features, including a whole palette thing and a booklet and everything. Look for the 4K UHD video collection of mine, and I go in depth as to what's inside it. Escape New York, the Shout Factory Collector's Edition on Region A. It's a 2K master with a whole bunch of special features and stuff. Really cool stuff. Problem is it's Region A, so these ones are all in order of release. So then we've got The Thing, the Arrow Video one. This is the 4K version, but it's on Blu-ray, as mentioned in my 4K collection that isn't UHD. Next up, though he did not direct it, it's very much still a kind of John Carpenter film. It is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I mean, where else would I put this in H for Halloween? What do you think I am, an idiot? Ugh. Then we've got Christine on 4K. Yes, I have it on 4K. It's the only way I could get it, because the only other way I could get it was on DVD, and I wasn't going to purchase it on DVD at all. Next up, we have Big Trouble in Little China, with this really weird, obviously fake, kind of image. Like, the rest of it's pretty good, okay, but like, what the fuck is happening here? Next up, we have what is this? Why am I showing you that inferior version of it that actually still looks pretty fucking dank, if you ask me? When I can show you the special 4K version that comes with the 4K Blu-ray special features and soundtrack, poster, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Village of the Damned. This one came in yesterday. I haven't watched it yet, but I have watched the original. I only got it because it's a Carpenter film, but also because it does have Christopher Reeve and Mark Hamill, so I'm like, sure, why not, you know? As promised, I've cut off Cooper's head. With the camera. When I said the new box sets came in, or other John Carpenter films came in, I would show them, and I'll cut them into the video. So, hello, this is a small interlude. I filmed the rest of this episode on Friday. Today is Monday, the other day that mail comes in. So first of all, we'll start off with a brief one. Prince of Darkness. This is the new edition of it. Not really much to say. It came with 2 discs. You know, you got your film, you got your special features, film, special features. Yeah, it's pretty good. The artwork looks pretty good. It was meant to come in a whole different box set, or come in the 4K version, but they just wasn't there on the store, which is very strange. Secondly, I'd like to add, of course, the double billing of Ghosts of Mars and Vampires. So that's the thing I now own, in my John Carpenter collection. And last but not least, the Escape New York box set. Now I don't need to show any clips of it. It comes with the stuff you'd expect. You got your booklet, and you got your box set that wraps all the way around and stuff. It comes with a pretty neat looking poster, one of 3 now that I can potentially add to my wall, which I think I'll do. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So now I don't need to have... I'll still keep the 2K version I have, just in case it has different special features and whatever. I'll have to look more into that as it goes. But yeah, and then you've got some art cards of some very good moments. You remember this moment, yeah, and this moment with that face. Yeah. This one's pretty cool, actually. That's a pretty rad looking one. That's one you could hang on your wall. This one isn't half bad, And lucky last, you got this one, which is, not a bad collection. Not a bad collection at all. So yeah, that was just my little additional clip that now I have to edit into the bigger video. I hope you liked it, and continue with the rest of the video. Ciao. Now this one's interesting because he didn't direct all of these films, but we have Jackie Chan. That's right. So of course this isn't actually directed by him, but it's in my Jackie Chan collection. It's Drunken Master. This is like a 4K version from Eureka's Masters of Cinema collection. And I also have Legend of the Drunken Master, which I don't believe... no, it's directed by a completely different person. Still not directed by Chan. And then we follow that up with 2 actually directed by Jackie Chan films. We've got Project A and Project A Part 2, the recent Eureka release. I haven't seen these yet, I haven't gone around to it, they only just came in recently. They're just 2K restorations, but I've heard that they're really good. And I've heard that they're like 2 of his best films, so yeah, keen as hell. Now it was Drunken Master and these 2, Police Story and Police Story 2, that got me into really watching Jackie Chan films a lot more. These are actually 4K restorations, and they're absolutely amazing. Great films. And the box set's pretty rad too. They're still just exclusive, they're still just ordinary cases, but it's got a pretty nice box set as well to it, so I'd highly suggest it if you get your hands on it. Next up we have Armor of God, The Armor of God, another Jackie Chan film, also directed by him, so, We've got 3 more in the Jackie Chan collection. We've got City Hunter, which I've heard is not great, but I'm like, yeah, it was cheap, why not? Follow that with Operation Condor, aka Armor of God 2, which I haven't seen yet, but I've heard it's pretty decent. And The Foreigner, also not directed by Jackie Chan, but starring him. That one's really good, quite a good film. So that's one of those collections where they're not all directed by him, but it's still Jackie Chan, It's more or less go there for the actor, less than going there for him as a director, because a lot of people don't know that he's a director. Oof, now we go into D. This one was a tricky one to figure out how I'd do it, like how I don't know where to place this tripod. This one was tricky because of the letters of the alphabet. So we have Guillermo del Toro. I don't mean to make that sound offensive. What films of his do we have? I still have his first film, Kronos, the Criterion Collection, coming in the mail. That'll come in soon. But I also have The Devil's Backbone. That one is probably his only one I haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Devil's Backbone or Kronos, but I've heard they're very good. Blade 2, the Hellboy Collection, the first and second film. I quite like Hellboy. Then we've got easily my favourite Del Toro film, Pan's Labyrinth. I'd still like to get the Criterion version just to get a better version of it. But yeah, this one's still a very good version. I've got Pacific Rim, Crimson Peak. Really good. Nice atmospheric horror film. And last but not least, The Shape of Water in 4K. Next up, we have very close proximity to the camera. Saucy. Next up, we have De Palma. A lot of these are Arrow videos. I'm sorry, all of them are Arrow video except for the last one. So we've got Sisters. Just an ordinary version of Sisters. Haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's very good. I plan to see it as soon as possible. Phantom of the Paradise. I thought it was his first film I'd ever seen. Turns out it isn't, but I really like this one. I especially like Jessica Harper. She's great. We've got Obsession. Haven't seen that one either. Carrie, which is a 4K? Yeah, 4K. Love Carrie. The Fury. I haven't seen this one yet either. Keen to, though. Then we've got Dressed to Kill. Look at that cover. It's so cool. These Arrow video covers are the best. And Blowout. Fucking hell is Blowout good. And of course, The Untouchables, which this is a DVD case, but I do have the actual Blu-ray inside it. We had a special edition DVD, but the Blu-ray was just on sale, and also Blu-ray. And of course we have Mission Impossible on 4K. That's in the Mission Impossible collection. That's why I mentioned Mission Impossible earlier, pretty much. Because that kind of thing of like, you can get a lot of films that are in franchises or have sequels and stuff like that, that you have different directors, and it can often be annoying. So if it's like a franchise like that, I usually just put it in the franchise. Okay, I guess I'm doing this as a handful. This isn't a director's collection, but it is a collection, that it's still in alphabetical order. It's Disney. This is in alphabetical order. Aladdin. Alice in Wonderland. Brave. Fantasia. Incredibles, yes, on 4K. And Incredibles 2, also on 4K. Favorite film of theirs, of Disney's? Hard to say. I mean, WALL-E's still really good, but that's like Disney Pixar. I don't know if you can count Pixar. I don't know. But of this collection, Aladdin. Then we've got Inside Out. Love this movie. Pinocchio, childhood favorite, and Toy Story 3. I plan to get Toy Story 1 and 2 on Blu-ray eventually. We have it on DVD, so it's like, got that on DVD, got WALL-E and Snow White and a bunch of other original, like, classic ones as well, but like, these ones, we didn't have any of them on Blu-ray, or at all, except for Incredibles, but I'm like, oh, Incredibles 4K came out this year, so I'm like, fuck yeah, I might as well get it. So I did. So I still have a lot of DVD collections, like I've got like Hitchcock and some Clint Eastwoods and stuff like that. If you want me to go into my DVD director's collection, I'll probably film it anyway today, just because it's much shorter. But it's because most of them are my dad's. That's the reason why we have a lot of them on Blu-ray instead of DVD. DVD instead of Blu-ray. But mostly because the box sets came that way, or however format the DVDs came. So I'll film that later, if not today, then another time. So this one's a tricky one, because I just took out the booklet that it came with. It's the Werner Herzog collection. The reason why I'm putting this in my list, because it is 4K. 4K Blu-ray. It is Blu-ray. Because it says, where does it say it? 18 films in this box. For reference, the Clint Eastwood box is 3 times the size of this, and it has less films. So yeah, this has 18 of these films. So what does it have? The Unprecedented Defense of the Fortress Duchsgurt, German name I'm not going to pronounce in. Last Words, Precautions Against Fanatics, Handicapped Future, Fata Morgana, Land of Silence and Darkness, Agira, Wrath of God, I've heard that one's really good, The Enigma of Caspar Hauser, The Great Ecstasy of Woodcarver Steiner, Heart of Glass, How Much Wood Would a Woodchuck Chuck? That's a film. Strozek, Nosferatu, sorry. Nosferatu the Vampire. That's the reason I got this. Wojciech, Hoy's Sermon, God's Angry Man, Fitzcarraldo, and Cobra Verde. It also comes with a whole bunch of, because obviously that's not 18, it also comes with a whole bunch of documentaries as well that he did. So yeah, this is a pretty good one. I got this for like $50-$60. All Region B, all Blu-ray, 18 films, with a booklet as well. So, and yeah, if you really like Werner Herzog, hell yeah, get it. Now here's a strange one. I only have 2, and I say it's strange for a reason, because I haven't actually seen them yet, which really is a criticism against me big time, because I've had them for like almost a year now. Usually when I make these collections, these directors or collections, say Disney for example, have to have more than 3 films, and usually have to, this is like the requirements, more than 3 films, and you have to know them, like the director, like say John Carpenter, you know, that one, he's a pretty well-known director, and I'd go straight to Carpenter if I'm looking for Halloween or any of his other films. Same as like Spielberg and Tarantino and other people I'll get to later. This one's different. This is Alejandro Jodorowsky. The only 2 films I have of his are El Topo and The Holy Mountain, because they're the only ones that they had at JB, hence the special covers as well, which look really grand. I've heard these are really good, like, surreal films and stuff like that, and I will get around to watching them as soon as possible. But yeah, he's a particular director that I figure kind of deserves his own spot, and also they kind of work together as a collection. So yeah, strange, but fair.